Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. So in this video we're going to be looking at the current stock situation regarding Evercade cartridges. There are a few that no one's been able to get since Christmas time, and quite a few of my sort of viewers have been commenting on this for the past few months. Now I thought the situation would actually resolve, but here we are about 4 months later and we still have issues surrounding stock, and some customers are struggling to get hold of certain carts like East Arcade 2 and Toaplan 3. Those are just two examples of carts that people just cannot get a hold of. So in this video I'm going to be looking specifically at the UK stock situation, and we'll go through all the different retailers, and I'll highlight the issues that I can see for myself. Now we'll start with Fun Stock. Now they've got all the latest stuff up there, but there's a lot of stuff out of stock. Even some things that are up for pre-order are shown as out of stock, which is a little bit weird. Like Atari Arcade 2 sold out, even though it's obviously a pre-order item, which is weird. I wouldn't have thought anything on pre-order would actually go out of stock, but there you are, it is out of stock. But that's not really the one I want to highlight. You've got Toaplan Arcade 4 completely out of stock. You can get some of the latest carts, Broken Sword, Indie Heroes 4, which is great. But going back to the ones that were released late 2024, which was probably December time, Metal Dragon, Life on Mars, cannot get a hold of that. It's been out of stock for some time. East Arcade Collection 2, the same. And Toaplan Arcade 3, exactly the same. And I've had a lot of people complaining they've not seen any stock for this since Christmas time, which is really quite alarming. Obviously the demand is quite high for some of these collections, specifically I would say Toaplan Arcade 3, because it's a fantastic collection, but no one seems to be able to get a hold of these carts, especially for new customers coming on board to the Evercade. Now a lot of other stuff, there's plenty of stock there on Fun Stock for a lot of other carts, but there are a few there that have been out of stock for the past few months. Now perhaps stock did come in and it just went straight back out again. I'm not entirely sure, but I still have tons of people complaining in my comments that they can't get hold of these carts. Now let's move on to another distributor in the UK, which is Game. You can pick some of these up in store and online, but online there isn't really an awful lot of stock there. You've got a few carts, most of them are old collections from last year and way beyond. They don't even have any of the new stuff on here. Let's have a look, see if I change the filters a little bit. Doesn't help. That's all Game have in stock. Now if you actually went in store, you might get lucky and you might actually find some stock, though my sort of closest Game is actually closed, and I know a lot of these stores are closing throughout the UK. It's definitely not got a great future ahead for physically getting one of these in store. I'm sure they'll still have an online presence, but I suspect their stores will probably close at some point. It's just not looking good. Now the other store we could also look at is CEX. They probably will have lots of stuff, but that's basically a second-hand store. I see lots of Evercade stuff in there all the time. Usually the stuff that's worth a fortune, like Codemasters and Oliver Twins, and the other stuff that's basically went legacy. Let's have a look at Argos, which is also in the UK. You can go to a store and try and pick these up, but they don't have an awful lot of stock here either. If you scroll down on Evercade carts, basically they've got 3 that are available. Now this might differ from branch to branch and wherever you are, but I've not even put a postcode in, and this is all they have. It might vary across the board, but definitely none of the new collections are there. If you go to Smith's, which was recently added last year, all they have, in fact they don't even have that either. They don't have this in stock. That's all that comes up when I do the search for Evercade cartridges. So I think anything that Smith's got basically went straight away. Now another distributor which was added, oh no thank you, was Mankind. They have physical stores as well, and I don't think I've ever seen an Evercade cart in actual stores, to be honest, but it's mostly been online, and they have a reasonable selection. There's actually got a special offer there, 2 for 35, so if you don't have some of those carts that might be a good offer, but they don't have the full range. They only have a select few there. They don't have any of the new carts at all either, which is a little bit alarming. Now let's move on to Amazon. Now I've done a specific search for Toaplan Arcade 3, and they don't actually have that officially in stock, although there is 2 offers there, selling at £25, which is actually higher than the correct retail price. Let's see all the buying options that are available. There's two offers there at $24.99, which actually isn't too bad considering what it's going for on eBay. But again, there's a lot of issues. Amazon have a great range, but if it's on pre-order, it's not really a place I would go to pre-order stuff. If they've got it in stock already, no problem, just order it, fine. But they still have a lot of stuff out of stock as well. Let's maybe just have a quick search on Evercade cartridge, see what they've got in stock. They have a great range, but again, there's none of the latest stuff that we haven't seen, like Metal Dragon, Data East Arcade 2. Now, this might differ from region to region, but I'm just specifically looking at the issues in UK, and that's all I can see. Now, this was a new distributor added by Blaze fairly recently for the UK. Never heard of them. This is the Game Collection, and they have a few of the latest carts up. Obviously, these ones are pre-order. Their price ranges are all over the place. You got Tomb Raider Collection for $29.95. That's a good bit higher than it actually should be, but it is what it is. I guess Blaze need to sort that one out. They have a few of the other carts here, but nothing like Toaplan 3, which is kind of strange. But there is some selection there if you're interested. Now, I wouldn't recommend this. This is eBay, and there are a few offers here. Toaplan Arcade 3, £86.52. No thanks, definitely not worth it. What about £109.99 or £129.99? I suppose if you've got a copy of this, it might be tempting to actually sell it because those prices are pretty crazy stuff. And if you are stuck, eBay might be an option, but I really wouldn't recommend paying these prices for any cart. These carts are not worth that. It really is crazy. I would wait for stock. Now, Blaze have been telling us that stock is coming. But when that will be, I have no idea. This is a message that was in Discord, which was highlighting some of the issues. Basically, demand is extremely high, which is kind of obvious, but they're trying their best to replenish the stock, and they're ordering a lot more than they have ever done in the past. But basically, at the moment, it's not enough. Yes, there is a lot of stock of various carts, but the latest ones like Toaplan 3, Metal Dragon, Data East Arcade 2 is really struggling. People are struggling to get their hands on these. Maybe this will improve in the next few days, but this has been 4 months now that I've not seen any stock of these cartridges, so not sure what's going on. I guess they've put something out there that's kind of explaining it, but I just think there might be a lot more going on than meets the eye, I guess. But I'm not sure Blaze will actually come out and admit or tell us anything at all. Now, I see there's probably going to be a lot more issues surrounding stock, especially in the US with pricing. I know I heard a lot of rumours about various price issues on some of their distributors in the US and Canada, and some of the prices were all over the place, probably reacting to the latest tariffs that was getting put up for stock coming into the US. So that could be a problem, given the fact that Blaze actually introduced some new pricing as well for the US recently. That is not going to be helpful. It's almost you're getting a double dunt if you're following Evercade stuff, and you're basically going to be paying a lot more than you were before. Maybe Blaze are going to have to look at doing something with that and try and maybe lower the pricing just a little bit, or put another price freeze until this situation sort of steadies itself out. But anyway, stock situation isn't particularly great on specific carts. Hopefully that will improve. The price issue, specifically for the US, probably won't be great either. So some issues there that Blaze probably need to look at and iron out, because it's going to be a big year, I think, but they need to certainly sort out some of that stock situation. It's certainly not going to improve, so needs something to happen, and happen quick, I think, to keep the customers happy and on board for Evercade stuff. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Just a quick update on some of the things that are happening on Evercade. Thanks for watching. Catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.